evening. As you can see, it's not afternoon. This is the knitting news for the 13th week of the year 2024. From, or not from, Knit Happens Teesside. Did I say that? As you can probably tell, I'm not very well. And so I didn't go on Thursday. And Andy wasn't well and she didn't go on Thursday either. Helen and Jill went, and I think somebody else went, a little person. And, well, she's not little anymore. Jill was wearing her pink and orange and white jumper. She was wearing that, and that's finished. She also had finished some Mr. Men toys, 3 Mr. Men toys for a grandchild. And I quite don't know what Helen was doing. Don't quite know what Helen was doing. But I'm sure I'll find out soon. So it's not really knitting news, because the 13th week was quite typical, though I'm not superstitious whatsoever. So that's what happened there. I did, however, at home work on my shawl. I'm right near the end of a row. So I've had another delve in my stash of more hair, because I did think I'd put enough colours aside for the segments for this. But then I realised that some of the ones that I'd been planning to use were a bit dark. So I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going into pinks, veering off into pinks. And I haven't bought any. It was all out of my stash. And I like pink and orange, because it's really, like, green and blue go together, don't they? In a fun way. And so do pink and orange. So have I got anything orangey? So I've got something a bit orangey. I nearly bought some. But when I looked, oh, it's hard to tell, isn't it? So I just had another deep dive into stash, and I found it, I think, enough colours to finish with now. So that was one. I have a jumper made out of that one. That's what is it Kinko? It's Senses. It is a lace weight, but it's not as lacy as the Kid Silk Haze. So hopefully I'll still be here next week and not in hospital. I'm only joking. I'm sure I'll be fine. But yeah, I've been really quite ill. And Millie, the cat, she has improved quite a lot. So at the end of the video, I'll put some footage of her and how she's getting around, which is all quite impressive, really. So it's 3 weeks since she was first poorly on Tuesday, which is 2 days' time. And about a day or two ago, I was thinking she would have to go back. She's still got an irritation in her ear, but her walking's a lot better. I do hope you can hear me. Let's have a drink. This is Sanctify. Ginger, fennel and cinnamon. It doesn't really taste much to me. Golden meaty. Ingwer, fenchel and zimpt. In whatever language that is. Still don't know. Anyhow. Oh yeah, I just finished that roll so I could show you a bit better. I don't think my voice has sounded this bad all day. So I've had a bit of a rubbish week with a whole day on the sofa feeling too poorly to even pick my knitting up or watch anything on telly, which seems to be quite a regular thing lately. Just lying there when I'm ill. It's looking so good. So we're getting some hot colours at the end. Now, do I have to tell you anything else? Just that there's dramas. There's still a drama now. I was going to record earlier, but there was a drama with my daughter in the car, and she's been recovered and brought home. But in between having a drama in the car and being recovered, I didn't hear from her for a couple of hours. So I couldn't record, because you know when your mind just takes you down the wrong path. And I'm not sort of a ridiculous person like that. But she'd hit a pothole, changed the wheel, and 2 of the nuts were snapped off in the hub. So there was only 2 nuts holding the new wheel on. And then it was clunking as well. And she said it was getting louder. What should she do? And then she said, I'll keep you informed. And then we didn't hear from her for 2 hours. And I thought, what if she's tried to drive down the road? What if somebody fast has come round the corner and like crashed into them? What if the wheels fell off? Because that has happened to me. Well, Tim and me and Emily was with us in the van. That's a whole different story. It was, as being as I haven't got much knitting to tell you about, I'll tell you this story. On the way to Norfolk, we hit a pothole. Going into a little lay-by, and it was quite fast, and it was a bit of a bang. We had a little holiday for a few days, and everything was fine. And then we started coming home. Another drink. We started to drive home. Right, I've just had a bit of a cough. Is that a bit better? A bit. Anyway, you know, every day you think you're going to feel better and then you don't. I'm sure I'm going to cut loads of this out. So we were driving back. And we drove up through Norfolk, and the roads have got a real camber on them. And they're dreadful. Really bad roads around Norfolk. There's a main road that goes along the top of Norfolk, and then we were just joined. As we got near the A1, it started making a noise, and the noise kind of got louder and louder. And I do wonder about my husband's hearing, and I think he doesn't know there's anything wrong because he can't hear it. Well, I think he could hear it, but he's of the mind where he thought, well, I'll just get home and then fix it. Well, sometimes you just can't do that, can you? So we got on the A1, and we hadn't gone for very long. And there was a big noise, and I looked, and I said, the wheels fell off. He said, you what? The wheels fell off? I said, yeah, I've just seen it. And it went boom, 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 down a verge and into a farmer's field. Like, faster than us. So he pulled in. And he put the spare on, and because we held the traffic up, was it? A policeman came anyway. I think it's just because of the cameras that they have on the roads. And he was really good. So he put the spare wheel on, but we'd lost some nuts. So he took a nut out of each other wheel. So they all had 3 nuts or something like that. And he thought, oh, we'll get on. And then we went about half a mile up the road, and it just went... It wouldn't go anywhere. So eventually, we were on one of them maps, you know, one of them awful traffic maps where you can see a big long red tailback. So a recovery truck came eventually, and it was a Friday afternoon, which is the worst possible time for everybody. They pulled the van onto the back of the recovery truck and took us to, not our house, took us to the closest service station, which was just a garage. It was an overnight stop for trucks, and there was a hotel round the corner. But we had 2 dogs with us, so we couldn't go and stay in the hotel, and we didn't want to leave the van. And so they took the van. They said, we can't take you all the way home, because we thought once we got on the back of this truck we were going home. And they said, no, somebody else will come for you, it'll be in the morning. Right, so a big refrigerated truck came and parked next to us, and that was like a huge fridge turning on and off all night. And we were propped up, not very safely, on 3 wheels. So we were all over one side of the van. We put the bed down because that was on the right side, but me and Emily were on that, and Tim was like, he's 6'2", he was lying on the floor, like round a corner. And then when I woke up in the morning, our ridiculous dog was laid on my front looking at me, going, I'm so glad you're here. You know, the look on her face was so funny. I'll see if I can find that one. There's not much knitting to report, but there'll be some new colours soon. And well, I am going to start another shawl because I'm going on a little journey, and I'm not going to take this humongous shawl with me. Even though it's quite light, I'm going to start a one skein wonder, which will be the murder knit shawl. I just haven't decided which skein, and I need it for next weekend. I'm only going away for one night. Right, is that it? Apart from what I am wearing, which is something that you won't have seen before, I don't think, because I never wear it. Huh? I just coughed again. Did you see? Could you tell? Right. This is made with Icelandic wool, and it's quite thick. And it was a pattern in her Vogue knitting, and I don't have boobs here. Oh, I forgot there was a button. I've just tied it up. I made this years ago, and it's been sitting in my jumper cupboard, which is an old China cupboard. There's a button. It was in a Vogue knitting, and it was in purple and like an ecru colour. That's a bit better, but it's such thick wool, it's not really suitable for something that's got not a proper sleeve. It might as well be, I mean, I don't know if I've got any more. It might as well be accessories, or put with another yarn and made into something warm like a sweater, or put in a charity bag. Or I could make one of them snow Elizabeth Zimmerman swirly hat things, because I will make one at some point, because it shouldn't take long. Right then, I think that's about it. Let's see if I can cobble something together for you. So, more news maybe next week. It's the mirror.